The city of Louisville, yeah. Louisville.
Yeah.
Gosh, I always get that one wrong. Is settling a wrongful death lawsuit. So brought by the family of Breonna Taylor, the city has agreed to pay the family $12 million and institute reforms, hoping to prevent similar situations. According to the New York Times, the family sued the city after police officers broke down the door to her apartment and fatally shot her during a late-night no-knock raid. None of the three officers involved have been charged, but a grand jury is investigating. Erica, this has been slow. I can't even say slow justice. I mean, I'm happy that the family has reached a settlement. I hope that they are satisfied. I know that their attorney says they're satisfied, but considering that there has been no arrests yet, how do you grapple with that?
Well, you know, this is hard because obviously there's so little closure in this case, especially when there's been so many cries for justice and nothing has seemingly been done. I understand that a settlement closes one chapter of it, but it doesn't close the entire thing. I think that it was interesting that a part of the settlement was a vow for serious and concrete police reform, which ultimately issue. In terms of the money, though, you have to also remember that her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, a lot of us spent our own money and donated to get him his legal funds, to get him out of jail. He has served more punishment than the people who were involved in this erroneously served no-knock warrant. We've seen one officer out of the three fired. We have Breonnas Law, which indicates that something went terribly wrong and it was illegal and unlawful. And now you have a $12 million settlement. That screams that this was not law and order and that justice needs to be served. So it's like everything around justice is happening, but the actual arresting the cops who killed Breonna isn't happening. And I'm just going to say this from my own point of view. I do believe that the reason why justice is coming so slow is because the police officers are just a facade for the bigger picture of how corrupt this entire investigation has been and why.
Wow. Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, just to clear things up, Erica said it all right there, but a civil suit is where they're going to get their money, right? If you look back to the OJ case, everyone could understand that. He still owes the Goldmans a lot of money. He lost his civil suit, but the criminal suit he was not guilty of. So these officers in this particular case have not been in criminal court yet. They will have their day in court, but I just want to make sure everyone's sure on that. This case is not over. It's still open.
I'm glad you mentioned that because we did get a few comments earlier I was reading where people were confused and almost saying to the point, Erica, that, you know, if she settled, or her family rather, I should say, if her family settled, doesn't that admit guilt in some way? Erica, I want you to speak to that because I've read a few of those comments.
Well, I would just ask, how many times have we seen something, seen a civil case settled before there was ever justice served and the grand jury is still convening in the legal case, the criminal case? So to me, yes, it does speak to there being erroneous behavior. It does speak to there needing to be justice. We have a law based on this incident that was enacted because it was so, ill-served.
Right. And
so, yes, it's like...
And the law, just for our viewers to know, you cannot just barge into a house, not knock. They're called no-knock warrants. You cannot do that anymore. And also, you can't be in plain clothes. Because can you imagine
anymore?
Can you imagine being in your home and people just in plain clothes go through your home and they have guns in their hand? You would think that you're being robbed. You think that you're being killed. You're going to defend your family.
Right. I mean, listen, Sam, this is something for the lawyers to decide. None of us are lawyers on here. I don't know how this is going to end up, but
I know.
You know, it's not going to end up well. Yeah. I should say. You know, no matter what the verdict is, there will be outrage on some side.
Right.
Right.
But a young woman, a really incredible young woman, lost her life.
Not to take away from any of that. I'm just talking legally.